Hi everyone, it's great to be here. My name is Danielle MacCarthy and I'll be presenting on some early work that myself and my colleague Dr. Christian Silva at Queen's University, Belfast, Northern Ireland have been working on. We'd like to discuss the notion of reviving Asklepia in the 21st century. Hopefully in line with the ethos of this conference, we thought highlighting the main pillars leading our thinking would be valuable. We highlight ideas around historical concepts of healthy cities, city planning as preventative medicine, and lastly, the idea of whether this may be a lost phenomenon. For any Greek speakers, I ask you please to overlook my pronunciation, but these pictures are from the UNESCO Epidaurus Sanctuary in Greece, known in the history of the medical field for providing evidence of the transition from the belief in divine healing to the science of medicine. But for city planners, it is also one of the earliest examples of independent and self-contained city-like type Asklepia, including all the amenities of a city and a dedicated place for combined holistic knowledge and interplay of environment and health in the pursuit of well-being. Here we see a site view of the plan and its healthy sitting approach with amenities for civic life, with the theatre, the temples of Artemis and Asclepios, the tholos and the banqueting hall, the baths, as well as the sport and hospital. To some extent, these reflect familiar facilities found in modern cities. But of greatest interest are the principles underpinning the conditions for the maintenance and restoration of health. They lie in the specifics of the harnessing of the healing power of nature and the careful interaction of physical, mental, as well as spiritual and environmental factors to create well-being and harmony in the individual and support the notion of city and space for its role in preventative medicine. Many, and for some time, have called for the radical overhaul of how we design cities. Coburn here outlines 9 key health resources which offer the potential for the city as preventative medicine, defined across a wide range of domains such as environmental quality, social cohesion, and integrated housing and affordable goods and services. We often witness top-down planning itself, however, as very slow to respond. We therefore use these key resources as a premise. We propose that we witness this philosophy as laid out in Asklepia in our cities emerge rather than from formal plans and policy, but instead informal occupations of spaces and practices outside institutionalized conventions, which then embrace physical, mental, and emotional bonds with the built and natural environment. There's not time to go through the 9 areas of informality we will cover, but I will now briefly highlight 2 examples relating to urban environmental quality and social cohesion. Rewilding and guerrilla gardening is now regarded as a large informal movement, in many cases which may have humble beginnings, beginning in greening small alleyways, but which has reignited holistic imaginations about our environment's health, function of land and role in our well-being, and can be witnessed in cities and towns across the globe, no longer regarded as small scale. In the domain of social cohesion, picking up concepts of Asklepia's collective and spiritual, Neil et al.'s work highlights self-driven communities interacting across ethnically diverse lines that draw on ideas around being in common through informal social practices, reducing barriers and limitations. As mentioned, this is a very, very brief snapshot of some of the informal practices we intend to look at more closely. And while we may be some distance from pure forms of Asklepia, where cities operate as productive health-giving environments, we explore this concept of reviving Asklepia in the 21st century across multiple dimensions of city as preventative medicine, to highlight the ability of the informal movement to regenerate forgotten spaces and practices which engage with both abstract and physical concepts in which the physical, mental, and emotional bonds within our cityscapes reflect reconnection to the earliest concepts of well-being. So I'd like to thank you for listening and look forward to enjoying the rest of the conference.